We're a very close-knit family, completely obsessed with food. Growing up as a Mexican Jewish girl was quite unique. I think I was one of 2 Jewish kids in my whole class, a class of like 125 kids. Here's me and my dad. Being a Mexican entails experiencing Catholic traditions. I'm Pati Jinich, and I am a chef, a cookbook author.
She is the product of academic achievements, family tradition, and a concoction of cultures.
When I was a kid, food was a very important part of my life. I'm a second-generation Mexican, and being Jewish was just a part of my life that happened to be not what everybody else was. It just gave us more foods, in our kitchen, the Shabbat foods and the Jewish holiday foods. I wanted to be many things before I wanted to be a cook. I wanted to be a ballerina, then I wanted to be a flutist, and then by high school I wanted to be an academic, and later on I became a political analyst.
Patty moved to the U.S. and eventually earned a master's degree in Latin American Studies from Georgetown University. She landed her dream job and became a political analyst. Her plan was to assist the migrant community through policy-making research.
I wanted to be an academic and I wanted to help with ideas. I thought I would help and be able to shine a light on things, that would help strengthen our democracy and would help the migrant community here and would help relations between the US and Mexico. But I felt like I worked and I worked and I worked, and I just didn't see anything that would show me that I was helping in any way. I was very frustrated. So after like 2 years of being really miserable and feeling like I wasn't contributing to anything, I decided just to take a leap of faith and switch careers.
She returned to her favorite and most memorable place as a child, the kitchen.
Because of nostalgia and the connection that I felt to food, I realized that it was much more fulfilling to me to be in the kitchen. It's very common to find lemonade with chia in Mexico. A lot of my friends were asking me to teach them, how I made the soup and how I made the tacos. And I realized I felt much more useful giving people recipes that would enrich their weekly menus, and that would also, in a very practical way, break down myths about who we are, Mexicans, and what Mexico is as a country and what our food is. So I felt like it was much more tangible. So I started putting together a curriculum that would study Mexican cooking, but according to different historical times and regions and ingredients.
Patty's seasoning and research abilities served as a portal to the Mexican Cultural Institute's kitchen in Washington, D.C., where she became an ambassador to Mexican cuisine and a voice to its history.
So I think this is gonna look really pretty because we have it's like a gelatin but mousse, ¿no? Está como gelatinosa pero tiene mousse, and the flavor is rompope. Rompope is an alcoholic drink that started being made, hazlo bien despacito, that started being made in Mexican convents. So when the Spanish nuns arrived to Mexico, they started making desserts that they really loved from Spain using Mexican ingredients, and they used to use a lot of egg whites. Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. So we're doing Puebla. I have a lot of classes that focus on regions. So each class is a demo and a dinner.
From the garlic cooking, I'm going to add my next ingredient because
He's always so interested in history as well as the food, and also just very willing to experiment with what Mexican food means. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, so I, like coming here cures my homesickness.
I feel like in very small ways, through recipes, I'm helping link generations and build bridges not only within Mexicans but also between countries, because I feel there's a better understanding about who we Mexicans are.
Her culinary creations opened another kitchen door, this time at the White House.
No Cinco de Mayo would be complete without great food and great music, so I want to thank our guest chefs, my good friend Jose Andres. Pati Jinich is here as well.
Interacting with President Obama was incredible. He came into a room where all of the cooks were. He cracked a joke with everyone in the team and shook a hand, and Obama was just like, oh, we need a lot of Mexican women chefs there, congratulations, and I'm gonna watch your show. And I don't know if he ever watched it, but
Oh yeah, and she has her own cooking show, Patti's Mexican Table, in which she builds bridges between cultures.
I want to be able to bring people into it and to showcase, the talents of other cooks and chefs and producers, and to shine a light on the diversity of what Mexico is. And we invited Janet Yu, who is a wonderful, wonderful Chinese chef here from the DC area. What are the powerhouse spices in Chinese cooking?
Star anise.
Star anise, okay. Come look, it's a beautiful spice. They look like flowers.
Cinnamon. But these are big cinnamon.
Humongous, this is huge. Okay, so she's so knowledgeable. And we went shopping and we realized how many ingredients we share in common. And it was because, of course, during the 300 plus years of Spanish colony, the Spanish had trade with the East. So Mexican cooking inherited a lot of ingredients that came from the East. And so I guess it just makes everyone very grateful about the lively exchange and interchange that's happened through history.
Building bridges while serving culture with tradition and rich history.
it can also have a
Perhaps the recipe for a virtuous dish of success.
Being a Mexican immigrant woman has definitely had its share of challenges, but it's had its many blessings in disguise too, because as an immigrant, you don't take opportunities for granted.